Jai Hind everyone, welcome again to the Patriotic IAS. We will start our IAS PCS Wala Daily Current Affairs, and under that the major topic that we are going to cover is this. We will start with this artist A. Ramchandran. Uh, He is now passed away. This is a sad news. But we will try to read though his feature or characteristic of his painting. He was a painter. So we will try to get it under the GS paper 1 art and culture. After that we will study this what is the condition of the heritage sites in the Lucknow and overall across the India. So it will be under GS paper 1. There is the act that preserve these heritage sites. So we will try to know that what is the act. After that we will see that there has been the conference of this different intellectuals. They have criticized the recent federal dilution of the federal principle in the Indian constitution and the way the government is treating the different states. After that we will study there has been the recent test of the drone that can act as a pseudo satellite. So we will study that what is the basic feature of this drone, how it will be act as the pseudo satellite. So it will be under the GS paper 3 science and technology prelims as well as for the mains perspective. After that, we will study this a unique location into the Gujarat Kutch region. This is known as the road to the heaven. So we will study what are the characteristic features and physical geography of the region under the GS paper 1 geography as well as the GS paper 3 improvement of the tourism in the area. Okay. After that, on the frequently asked question, we have the three area. The first is that there is the amendment into the Water Act. So we will study that what are the amendments. So it will come under the GS paper 3 environment section. After that, there has been a comprehensive coverage of Uttarakhand Uniform Civil Code. We will study again of this because this is the first time any state has legislated rule, despite you should know that it is the Goa who already have the uniform civil code because they retain the colonial law uniform code of the Portuguese. So you should know the Portuguese were the largest duration. They remain in India for the largest duration. It is not the Britishers because they started their rule into the 1505 and it ended in the 1961. So please remember that it is the 450 years. And after that we will study that what are the threat to the child safety into the virtual mode as the technology is continuously increasing. So it will be under the GS paper 3. And after that in the end we will study what are the recent development into the India-Maldives relation, as there has been the tussle, there has been the close relationship with the Maldives and the Chinese. So we will study it under the GS paper 2 India-Maldives relation. So let's start with the first page. On the first page, we do not have any relevant news, but yes, you should know in the general the election is going, general election is going in Pakistan, and the result is showing that despite so much effort from the army to ban Imran Khan and its party Pakistan Pakistan Tehreek Insaf, PTI. Despite that, it has got 1-0 largest party. Most of the party was banned, and mostly the independent candidates they contested the election. Imran Khan supported. It was by the AI, artificially intelligence generated voice that appealed to the people. He wrote, he gave in the written, but he was not allowed to speak. That's why it was the artificially intelligence audio was used. So please, you should know that this audio video message. Okay. Besides that, you should know that yes, the total number of seats is 265 and the 133 seats is needed to form the government. So his combined total independent candidate have got 102. Still there is the near about 8 to 10 seats where the result has not declared. So it is the largest party. After that it is the Nawaz Sharif, Muslim League, Nawaz, Pakistan Muslim League, and then after that it's the People's Pakistan People's Party of Bhutto family. Okay, so this is all about, you should know there is the intense resistance, instability. Army want its power to capture. That's why they are asking to get legitimacy by the formation of these uh, parties in the combination. So you can see that how the government or the people in the power try to capture their power. They try to remain in the power despite whatever the condition they are going to achieve. After that, you should know in the parliament there has been the resolution of this consecration of the Ram temple, and it has been considered that this is the biggest, means highest thing that has been we have achieved till now. This is the historic thing to make this Ram temple as per the government. Okay. So no other relevant news to cover. This is about the increase. EPFO is going to increase in interest rate. It is not that much relevant. This minor detail we don't need, because yes, there could be the change. Next important news that is relevant for us is this with respect to the this painter artist. He is known for his unique style of the painting. So what are the unique style? You should know this Nandalal Bose was his mentor, and he is famous. He is known for his contribution to the making artistic expression that has been added into our Indian Constitution. Vinod Bihari Mukherjee, he is also pre-independence. He was the painter. Particularly, he was on the rise during our national movement, and he is known as the Indian style of the painter. So, what was his main theme? His main theme was he loved the little wheel helmet in the Rajasthan and quiet pond on the Obeshwar. Obeshwar, it is in the near Udaipur. There is the temple. So his style is mainly associated with most of his work there is the tree, a woman and a pot, and in the pot he generally appears in himself in the form of the insect or the bird, even as the bat. This is the style. So this you should know. He has given what award? Padam Bhushan award. He has been awarded. So yes, you should know all this thing. Next important news that we are going to cover is any relevant news that we can cover. Most of these are the political news. Yes, some of the important achievement of this 17th Lok Sabha. It has first thing, it passed this three forms bill, but it was repealed later. Abrogation of Jammu and Kashmir. So this was the pending for the last time as per the ideology of the BJP. After that, this uh, Muslim women protection of right of marriage bill. This banned the triple talaq. So please remember, this triple talaq ban was under the Muslim women protection of right to marriage act. Okay. Other important law that has been changed is this colonial era, this IPC and CPRC, and also change in the Indian Evidence Act. So it has been changed with the Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, Bharatiya Nagrik Suraksha Samhita, and Bharatiya Sakshya Samhita. So this has been the change. Okay, and beside that, what are the important area they have done? This is the negative thing that this parliamentary system has faced the largest number of the expulsion. So near about the 146 members were expelled. Here it has mentioned. Okay, so please remember all this thing. Whenever you have to bring some of the analysis of the functioning of the parliament. Next important thing is this. It is given that the heritage space in the Lucknow not being maintained properly. Even the High Court direction in this area. So there has been the encroachment on this heritage site. So first thing you should know that we have the law. The name of law is this Ancient Monument and Archaeological Site and Remains Act 1958. It's protect this. It gives this ASI the power to declare these sites as the monuments, and also it's give direction and it's try to preserve all these monuments. You should remember this Bada Imam Bada. This is from the Lucknow, and it is from the Nawabs. Particularly, it is from the 18th century. And yes, here you should know there is the Asfi Mosque and the Bhul Bhulaiya. That is famous. So please remember all this thing, okay? And it was constructed by the Asaf Uddullah. Particularly during there was the famine, and to provide the employment at that particular time, the kings and rulers starts making the new building so that they can provide some job to the people, because it's involved lot of people, because at that time mechanization was not that much prevalent. Next important news is with respect to the GS paper 3 science and technology. India is going to test this pseudo satellite. What is this? This is the unmanned aerial vehicle. And what is the name of this? This high altitude pseudo satellite. HAPS is the name. Who is constructing? Who is making it? CSIR, National Aerospace Laboratory. Okay, so please remember this thing. What is they are aiming? They are aiming to achieve to reach into this stratosphere. What is the distance of stratosphere? Stratosphere, it is between the near about 15 kilometer to the 50 kilometer. Sometimes it is 80 in the some of the area, like at the poles it is low, at the equator it is high due to the gaseous condition. You will study into the geography. So the aim is that we want to reach at the 23-kilometer height, and for the 90 days we want to persist there. But as per now we have achieved only to 3 kilometer. Yes, where is this? 3 kilometer. 3 kilometer we have achieved, and 8 hours. But still we have to achieve a larger amount of time. What will be the use of this? It could provide the surveillance and also 5G 5G waves. So it will enhance the surveillance capacity of India, like in the border area. If there is the surveillance, it will provide the information, and also it will increase the 5G beaming. So this is all about. Other important news is this: there is the speakers at the democracy meet. This is a meeting of the academia, like the Romila Thapo and Hariharan. Okay, so all these Professor Hariharan. So what they are criticizing there is the attack on the federalism and equality of state as well as the states' rights, because the government is imposing such thing like the one nation, one election, and it is undermining the local governance and the authority of the local local leadership and the local these bodies, or at the village level, at the state level. So they are criticizing with respect to this. For example, this one nation, one election and conflated the difference between the priorities area. There is the different area of the different state government, different local bodies. For my example, my village will have the some unique issues, such as the maybe there is the cause of the flood on a regular basis, or there is the lack of the transportation, such as the bus transportation or the railway transportation. Maybe somewhere the issue is with respect to the educational institute and the healthcare system, that is also in the my village as well. So yes, the states, but the nation had a different priority, like that they have to think about the defense sector, external shock, overall economy. So there is this different priorities for that. But if you are going to hold one election and you are going to decide for the all the three stages, layers of this governance system, so it will impact the overall functioning and overall independence at the all three layers. Here it has mentioned that investigating agencies, they are being used actively to weaken the state government and opposition party. And office of the governor is also being misused to weaken the state government. So you can bring all these under the center state issue that is being faced. Now there is the criticism for the Jammu and Kashmir converting it to the union territory, because it is the downgrading, as we know that state has more power of the legislation and executive with respect to the union territories. So there is the centralization that is being promoted. These are all the thing. Even the student from the political science international relation, you can use this comment from the Balveer Arora, that it has mentioned that he has mentioned that there was the distance goal of the cooperative federalism. Now it has become the impossible dream. So now we are seeing the asymmetric federalism. So you should know what is the asymmetric federalism and what is the symmetric federalism. Next important news we will take is with respect to this dream, road to the dream. So how this road to the dream comes? It is the area that is associated, that is near the Kutch, and yes, Dholavira you must have studied into the your history, ancient history. It is one of the site of the Indus Valley civilization, and it was under the top 5 largest. Like the first largest, it was the, yes, it is the third and fifth as compared to the, at the, if you will, in the combined Pakistan and India whole the site of civilization, it is at the fifth position, and with respect to India it is at the third position. It is in the Gujarat. Let me show you this location on the map. Okay, so this is the Dholavira here. It has here, and you should know that what is the place that is located into the southernmost. It is the Diyamabad. The is the outmost eastern part. It is the Alamgirpur, and northernmost it is the Manda, and westernmost is the Satkanjador. Okay. So it is at the Baluchistan where there is the intense fight that is going on. Why this is important? So let me show you the importance of this. This reservoir that is the unique with respect to this Dholavira that has been found. Beside that, this is also, we have found the settlement that was fortified in the Dholavira. Okay. Other thing, specialized drills have been found here into the Dholavira with the this Chanhudaro and the Lothar. So what it gives that it was the site of the manufacturing into the Indus Valley civilization. So please remember all these facts. Other thing about this area is about the Kutch is that it is famous for the bird sanctuary, the Great Indian Bustard Sanctuary that is here in this region, and this bustard is critically endangered. Beside that, you should know that this Koch de Jot Wildlife Sanctuary, and it is the largest as per the size area. Okay. Beside that, the tribal that here resides is the Rabari tribe and the Meghawal tribe. So please remember all this thing. This Dholavira comes under the UNESCO World Heritage Site. Okay, and the island of Khadir, where the remains of this famous Indus Valley civilization can be found. So you can remember all this thing. Please see the scenic beauty. This is the scenic beauty, and this lesser flamingo is common in this area. Next news that we will take is the Uttarakhand Uniform Civil Code. Under that, already we know that what is the history. The history is that already there is the Article 44 into the DPSP. It's talk about states should always take care of the wherever there is the policy and the area that has been mentioned under the DPSP. So Article 44 talk about that whenever the government is going to formulate the policy, it should be considering the bringing the uniform postal law across the India. Okay. But till now there has been the diversion, there has been the tussle between the different community, and they do not like the state to interfere in their laws, and that's why still there is the separate personal law, despite the criminal law is the same for the across the India, with the some of the exceptions into the tribal area. Okay. So now it is the first state that has going to legislate. Uttarakhand is the first state to legislate, but already there was the uniform civil code into the Goa, you should note, and it was from the Portuguese colonial ruler who already have imposed into the 1867, something like that. Okay. You should know that Portuguese ruled India from the 1505 to 1961, near about 450 years, 2 times more than this Britishers. So please remember that. So this is the historical fact. Okay. So to bring this Article 44, Uttarakhand has brought. So we already know there is lot of positive progressive rules such as with respect to the marriage, divorce, inheritance of the property, and live-in relationship for the all citizen and irrespective of their religion. But the thing is that there is some of the issues. Okay, one issue is that this live-in relationship. Other is that there is the demand that why it has not been imposed on the tribal area. So this is the good because tribals are this area, these people have their customary and they don't want to get rid of that. They want to continue with that because it is associated with their identity. Maybe we will pursue in the further into the course of the time. Maybe we will implement for the all of that. This is good. Okay. So why they have been brought out of under this definition that define the tribal people under Article 366, as well as if there is any decree law from the Supreme Court that prohibit these tribals area, so that will be not applicable. Here, the main thing is that will live in relationship. Here, the registry is needed. Okay, so there is the encroachment of the state into the area of the personal life. This is being criticized. So what's its still that yes, whenever you have to enter into the live-in relationship, you have to inform, take the certificate. Whenever you are going to terminate this relationship, again you have to inform. Beside that, it has also mentioned that. Yes, registrar will conduct a summary inquiry. Again, it is encroachment of your personal relation, and beside that, it prohibit categories mentioned under the section 380. Okay, if the partner is married or the another relationship, so this cannot be possible. And yes, if it is the minor, if he or she, then that will be not accepted. The certificate will not given. Okay, so here the registrar have also power to refuse, and in that case it have to give the written that what is the region you are refusing. Okay, so yes, this is the good thing, he have to give the region, but the thing is that there is always the loophole. What you are increasing a permit lodge or the license lodge that I have to get the certificate, what will happen? I will go, the penalty is very huge, so they will demand for the money, they will make the certificate. By anyway, you will get the certificate, but there will be the lot of trouble to the people. They will know that your personal information. So this has been criticized here. The criticism has been provided that yes, this mandatory registration will intrusive and definitely breach of the fundamental rights, right of privacy, because recently we have seen that under the Putta Swami case. Please remember this Putta Swami case. Under Putta Swami case, the privacy has been considered as the fundamental right under Article 21. Putta Swami case. Putta Swami case. It considered this right to privacy as a fundamental right. Fundamental right. Please remember this. Okay. So this is all about. After that, there has been the other provision such as that here it has been provided that what are the fine that will be imposed. It is the 10,000 or the imprisonment for the 3 months. Also, if there will be the false settlement or something that you have given the false data, in that case this will be for the 6 months and the amount will be 25,000. Okay. Sorry, this jail term will be the same, 3 months. Okay. Here it is for the 6 month. They do not register after the notice, when it is given the notice, and the fine will be 25,000. Okay. So good thing is that it abolishes the illegitimate children, because even if the person is living in the living relationship, the children will be considered as the legitimate. They have all the rights in the property and other area of the succession and the claims. So this is good. Beside that, it is going to end this bigamy or the polygamy, means you are going to marry more than one woman. Yes, so this is not allowed. A spouse, if there is living, so you cannot marry as per the section 4. Beside that, the minimum age will be remain 18 and 21. Do the marriage have to the register? Yes, now you have to register, and it is the 16 days, 60 days that is given. So whenever you are going to marry, you have to register. Otherwise, there is the fine of the 10,000. But yes, your marriage will not become the invalid. Despite you will not register, your marriage will be remain the legitimate. Okay. If you are not going to do that, there is the 3 months jail term. Okay. So there is the penalty. So this is the other burden on the people. The fine is this 25,000, 10,000 fine is fine, but you are going to 3 months of this jail term, that become very harsh. Okay. Marriage ceremony, there is no rule for the marriage ceremony. You can do as per your rituals, your custom, you can follow. And whatever the law is previously, Anand marriage, Arya marriage, validation act, all this will be continue. What about the divorce proceeding? Okay, no marriage can dissolve without the court order. It is not the private settlement. You have to go to the court and you have to get the resolution from the court. It is not the on the mutual basis. Okay. Ground for the divorce could be the religious conversion, but it will be not ground for the religious conversion. By itself, it will not resolve. The women or the man who is the second spouse can go for the divorce on the this ground of the conversion. Okay. 20 section 28 prohibits the initiation of divorce proceeding unless the 1 years of the marriage. Okay, if it is only after the 1 years that has been passed after the marriage, then you can go for the this divorce. But yes, if there is the exceptional hardship, like if the husband is involved in the rape case or the unnatural sex, so it could be even before 1 year. Okay, even if there is the more than one wife, then it could be there could be the ground for the divorce within 1 year. Inheritance right, how it will be the corpuscenary system. What is the corpuscenary system? It is simply that in the Hindu system, whenever the ancestor dies, there is the always the right to the son. So son was considered, but as per the Hindu Succession Act, further its amendment into the 2005. Please remember, it is the 2005 when the the daughters made the equal claimant for the this right into the property of the ancestor. Okay. In the event of the interstate succession, this equal property right for the spouse, children, and parents. So there is always, though there is the parents. Previously, it was just the mother, but now the both parents will have the right into the death of the that particular person. Okay. So it is the departure from the existing law that talk about the only it's go to the mother. Now the father will also get. If there is no immediate family, the property will be divided among the second line of the like the first cousin or the parental side. It will be from the parental side. Okay. So this is all about, and for the there has been the change in the Muslim personal law, like the nikah halala that has been invalidated, idat has been invalidated, triple talaq has been invalidated. What is the nikah halala? Nikah halala means like I am married to a woman and there is the divorce. So that after the divorce for the 1-2 months, the women again want to, there is the settlement between me and the woman. So when there is the again she want to marry me, so before that there is the rule that she have to go to the marry and to live with the third person as the punishment, and after that she can marry again to me. So this is very humiliating, that's why this has been the ban, but exact name of the nikah halala has not been mentioned. That is like the after the divorce or after the death of the husband, the women have to wait for the maybe 3 months, 4 months period. Generally, in the case of the divorce, she have to wait for the 3 months. In the case of the death, generally there is no fixed rule, but in the case of the death, there is the chance that she have to wait for the 4 months. So this has been ended. If there is the divorce after that, immediately she can marry. There is no such thing. So this triple talaq, everyone to know that 3 times pronunciation of the talaq will immediately dissolution of the marriage. This is not case. You have to go into the court and you have to settle. So this is all about with respect to this. Please know into the detail because it will help in GS paper 2 as well as GS paper 1. Next important news is with respect to the child safety and particularly in the virtual mode. So this is associated with GCS paper 3 science and technology. This is talking about the mainly the Technology into the virtual mode is increasing day by day, and there is the chance like the metaverse or the extended metaverse extended reality, and this has been involved that this is making this feeling of this exploitation very intense, as there is the in these technology you can feel you can have the mental appearance in a more realistic way, and that's why the pressure, the exploitation is also very high. This technology do offer many potential benefit, okay, but there is the lot of misuse as well. Like there is the graphic sexual content, bullying, sexual harassment, and abuse. So this become very much intense when it is the immersive virtual environment. So now this technology is making it very grave. So here it has mentioned, okay, and there is the vast amount of the misuse in the form of like the non-verbal behavior or the collected and potential, allowing a handful of the large technology company to facilitate the hyper personalized profiling. Okay, so it is impacting the children's privacy, security, and the freedom as well, because this is creating the surveillance as well. It has given one of the example like there is the a game Grand Theft Auto, and it is giving for the adult, and it's talk about such type of the thing like the approach a prostitute and if spank her many times. So generally what the adolescents do, they try to do it too by the manipulating their age, and as per their entity they enter as the adult version. Okay, so they try to go with the adult version, so this becomes more means exposure to the bad thing. Okay, like the children were using this artificial intelligence to generate the indecent child abuse image as well, because there is the technology and this artificial intelligence. There are so many machine that has been apps that is in the market that can generate this imaginary image, and this is impacting the mental health of these children. So what is important in encryption is very important, so that in the middle of this transfer of the data, that should not be hacked or the stolen, and that could be the misuse. So the first thing that is that need to be done here. Second thing is that here it has mentioned that what are the benefit of this AI, like the home assistance and the easy to understand explanation wherever there is the complicated concept into their textbook. Okay, personalized learning experience as well, and yes, there could be it could help the disabled children as well. Like they can get the maybe if the person is blind, if the children is blind, he can use the voice to get the text, and after that if there is a text he can ask to this machine to read into the audio form, so it could help the disabled person. Okay, so here it has mentioned that it can generate the text, speech, and images, so this is good. And this is also good, like it is creating into the extra curriculum activities, like they can create this compose the music, write stories, software, and all the thing it can do. Only thing is that the protection and safety measure that need to be improved. Okay, so this AI has the capability to create text-based disinformation as well, and yes, they are also creating the image that is similar to the real, but it is very difficult to distinguish. So that's why it is also creating the legitimacy issue, whether this particular text is right or the incorrect. Okay, so what can be done to keep children safe? The first thing is that the tech companies have to take the responsibility of the safety measure. They have to bring this safety, and by this congressional hearing that was going on, this shows that yes, they are careful, they're thinking about that. Besides that, this UNICEF has also brought the guidelines. So there has been a guideline that should be followed by these tech companies, and this tech company must be apply the highest existing data protection standard for the children's data. So this is the utmost important as per this guideline. So beside that, government have also to involve so that they can assess, they can adjust the regulatory framework periodically, so that if there is any development of the new technology, they can provide the check and balance for this. Okay. So this is in this news that how we can provide the safety to the children, particularly in the online mode. Beside that, you should know there is the pass POXOC, like the prevention of children from the sexual offense 2012. So please remember that we have a very harsh act that can, if used in a proper manner, it can prevent such uh, exploitation of the children in the virtual mode. Next important news is that we have changed the amendment. We have amended this Water Act. Recently it was amended to bring some of the harsh punishment like the imprisonment to the just to the fine, because many a times it's create the hurdle into the living standard and the ease of living and ease of life, because for the a very minute mistake you are going to be in prison. So it is giving a tool for the harassment into the hand of the official, government official. So you should know that there is the act with respect to the water prevention and control of the pollution 1974. You should also understand that already we had the Wildlife Protection Act 1972. From there we started the environmental protection. So yes, after the Wildlife Protection Act, we came up with the Water Prevention and Control Pollution Act 1974. After that, we came up with the Air Prevention and Control Pollution Act. It was 1971, and after that there was the Environmental Protection Act 1986. Please remember in the sequence. First the Wildlife Protection Act, after that water, then air, then the environment. So what is this? Now it is viewed to maintain and restore the wholeness of the water bodies. That it has integrated different water bodies and make these laws more interconnected. One of this mandate is for the Central Pollution Control Board. There is the Central Pollution Board that is under the center, and now we have also the State Control Board here, State Pollution Control Board. So this became this gives the guideline, it provides the guidelines, and yes, guidelines, and disseminate the information and the technological to the lower level. And the main task of this State Pollution Control Board is to implement the law on the ground. It's file the cases, it's on the ground, it's provide the safety. So under this act, they can shut down this industry. Even monetary fine and imprisonment of the 6 years is there. So one thing you should know that water is the state subject, and center can only provide the guideline. It cannot impose. Okay. So this act came after the a special provision that has been provided to the parliament, that when the two or the more state approaches to the center and ask for to legislation of the law, so they provide. So under this, Himachal and the Rajasthan approached to the center, and after that this amendment was done. Okay. So it's removed the provision of imprisonment on the minor mistakes, and it has replaced with the fines of the 10,000. So this is all about. So there has been the positive, government has supported that it will have the positive impact, but the opposition is there for the amendment in the act, because it is going to raise the concern that it is going to weaken the law, because at the imprison give the more deterrence as compared to the fine. So if you will remove the imprisonment and only bring the fine, so it will reduce the deterrence, and it will cause to it will have not that much effect to protect these rivers and the water bodies. So this has been mentioned here. Here it has mentioned that the difference fine with respect to this, like the bills also add that the center may issue the guideline for the grant, refusal and cancellation of the consent granted by the SPCB. So there is the this Central Pollution Control Board has getting more power with respect to this penalties and grant of the permission. Even they can override this State Pollution Control Board. The penalty will be between 10 to 15 lakh, and Amendment Act also empower the center to frame the rule to select the chairperson of the SPCBs. Again, there is the overriding power given to the center, and this frame guidelines that states can follow on the matters of the establishing the industries and new operating process. So by any way, if the state themselves giving the power to the parliament to legislate the law on their subject, so it is not issue, but yes, there is the overriding power. Next important news that we will take is this CPR. What is this? This cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Okay, so please remember this PCR. This is for the whenever there is the heart attack condition, we try to uh, try to bring this cardiopulmonary resuscitation. So please remember this. Okay, so there is the chance that if you will provide this, so the chance of survival is high at the immediately, but as we delay, there is the it's reduced to the 1%. So please remember that what is this thing. Please, you should also learn, because you can you also need to provide in some of the cases. So just give me 1 second, I will show you. Okay, so this is the CPR. This is the way we provide. This gradually increase the frequency and later it's decrease the frequency. So this is the way we try to do. Please try to learn that, because whenever there is the emergency condition, you can also provide. Okay, this is the when the slow compression is given per minute, and after that this frequency increases. You have to bring it continuously. Okay, you have to increase your frequency. Here it is given. So this is all about. Next important news that we will take is with respect to this hyper local extreme weather forecast. That is in the short form, this is given the name of the wind. This is the weather information network and data system, and it will be under the Department of Agriculture and the Farmers Welfare. This is also the under the Ministry of Agriculture and the Farmer Welfare. So what will it gives? It gives generate the long-term and hyper-local weather data. You can start with this, that whether this forecasting is important. This is important because whenever there is the case of the cyclone or the heavy rain or the heat wave, drought, they are the critical, and they will provide a proper tool for the better disaster management. Okay, so what we are going to do, you should know, we are going to increase this number of automatic weather stations. These are the tools that is used to forecasting automatic rain gauge and the droplet weather radar. So in the prelims, the question can be asked that what are the system that is used under the forecasting system. So please remember all these things. They are, look what we have now. We have only 1500 automatic weather station. What we needed, we need 3 lakh. So this is the difference. Doppler, this is 37, we need 70. So that we can provide a proper and accurate forecasting. What we are going to do under this program, WIND, we are going to provide promote the data for the wider application in the agriculture and other sector. Okay. So what are the things we will do? We will try to bring 2 lakh ground stations. Okay, it will be installed. Okay, in Delhi, what we saw, the Delhi fog blanket this region, and this create the high particular matter and smog in the atmosphere. And whenever this is the case, the fog can trap these pollutants, and this can lead to the respiratory and the heart attack condition. Many times we see that this nitrogen oxide can react with the other components to form the secondary pollutants. What is the secondary pollutants? Those that are not directly produced from the factories or from the human activity. They produce after the different primary pollutants like the CO2, methane gas. Those directly get emitted from the human activity or the natural activity. After that, in the environment, these primary pollutants, they can react with each other, and after that there will be the production of the second type of pollutants. They are known as the secondary pollutants. Okay. So this we are going to bring the private sector as well in this, so that we can increase the capacity under the wind system. One more thing you should know, this Make in India initiative has also make us more capable. Okay, because previously we don't have this this reliable sensor at the cheaper cost, but under due to Make in India initiative, we are able to produce this low cost and highly reliable sensor that can be used into this weather forecasting, and they can easily install and have low maintenance cost as well. So whenever you have to bring what we have achieved into under the Make in India initiative, you can bring all this thing. Other thing is important with respect to this pollinator plant interaction is getting deteriorated due to this nitrate radicals, and you should know this this air pollutant it's reduced the nocturnal hawk mode pollination. Okay, and that's why there is the degradation in this chemical compound that produce the fluorescent, and that's why there is the degrading in this fluorescent into the this pollinating plants. Okay, other thing that you should remember is this place. This is the Grindavik. This is into the island. Okay, so here we have find that 15-kilometer long magma dike. So this is just you need to remember why it is in the news. So this is all about for the today's news. One more thing we will cover, and after that we will wind up our session. This is with respect to India-Maldives relations. Recently we saw that our external affairs minister joined this Indian Ocean Conference, and here it was the Sri Lanka. It was joined by the Sri Lanka as well as the this other countries. Okay, so here we talk about that Maldives has allowed the Chinese resource ship into the Malaya Harbor, and this is creating the threat not for the India as well as the other neighboring countries. So it is being raised. The issue is being raised by the Sri Lanka as well. Sri Lanka here has justified that you should know that Sri Lanka has joined the RCEP, this regional comprehensive economic agreement, where cooperation agreement, where China is leading, and we withdrawn from this because of it was not that much positively impacting the Indian concern. It was giving more market for the China, and that's why there could have been the increase in the trade deficit. That's why we withdrawn. You should know that we already have the free trade agreement with the Sri Lanka from the 1998. So India Sri Lanka relation whenever comes, you should know that we already have this free trade agreement. So yes, this is all about. Here we will wind up our session. Thank you for joining the session. All the best. Jai Hind.